Hey everyone, welcome to Tennis Picks and Bets here on the Mayo Media Network with your host John at JR Tweets Tennis on Twitter, or you can also find and follow at twitch.tv/tidbitstennis, where we do some live streams, alternative commentary, and talk more about betting than a traditional broadcast would for many different tennis events. All right, before we get to Wednesday's pick of the day, want to make sure everyone's following along with the channel. So make sure you're subscribed and click the bell to receive notifications for the Mayo Media Network here on YouTube. Like this video as well. It helps out the channel. And of course, the tennis picks and the tennis shows as well. And then leave a comment below with your favorite pick for Wednesday. Really intrigued to see what people have, because there are some really polarized pricing, especially on the men's side. Of course, if you listen in podcast form through Daily Fantasy Sports Picks and Bets, The Mix, make sure to rate, review, and subscribe there as well. All right, the lone pick for Wednesday coming from the women's side. As mentioned, the men's side, just such polarized prices with Djokovic and Zverev being large favorites. I do like them in their matches. However, the spreads are a little long on both matches for my liking. Lloyd Harris has been ultra competitive this week. He could potentially cover, but Zverev's return ability scares me off of taking the plus games there. And then Matteo Berrettini, I still have questions, especially after dropping a set to Oscar Ota, if he can rely solely on his serve to cover against Novak Djokovic. Of course, Djokovic beat on Wimbledon, where the serve played up even more. Really questioning there, but at the same time, I'm not laying all those games with Novak against Berrettini, because if he has a big serving day, who knows? So the uncertainty there, keeping me away from the men's side. We will stick to the women's side for the pick, and it comes in the match between Maria Sakkari and Karolina Pliskova. We're going to take the over 21.5 games here at -115. Simply put, Karolina Pliskova played a relatively tight match. Went about 22 games last round against earlier against Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. And I think Maria Sakkari and her athleticism, she's a bit more athletic, moves a bit better than Pavlyuchenkova, but has added weapons to her game this year. Her serve and forehand are big weapons. We saw her and Bianca Andreescu, known as Bibi, absolutely duking it out in their night match. Bibi wins the first set and had a break point at 5-all in the second. Just couldn't convert that to get our pick over the line for that match. But it was a great match. And we saw what Maria Sakkari can do with her first serve and her forehand combination against someone who doesn't move well. When you can move that ball and pepper that ball around the court, and your opponent is Karolina Pliskova, that's going to be even more effective. Head to the other side of the net. You saw Bianca Andreescu holding serve relatively easily outside of the early second set when they traded breaks. Outside of that, you saw that someone with a good first serve and big weapons can hold serve against Maria Sakkari. Sometimes she just can't find the range to get some depth on her returns, or sometimes the power doesn't give her time to get the ball even over the net. And so Karolina Pliskova does possess that ability, one of the biggest serves in women's tennis, and of course, one of the most effective backhands when flattened out to take time away from her opponent. So I think this one should be a fairly close match, as the line indicates on the money line. I think the money line seems about right. But I would turn around and look at the stylistic matchup and think this should be closer to 22.5 games. Even in women's tennis, it's very rare to see a 22.5 on the totals. But in this spot, I think it would be the correct number. So at 21.5, we will look to take advantage. Thanks for watching, guys. Tune in tomorrow as we will go over the first semifinal day from the U.S. Open. Thanks for watching.